is balancing and drawer and safe. So this will be where, if you are transitioning from SMS to eSuite to start doing the balancing for your cashiers and your safe, this would be where you're going to start going in to do that. Right here, you can see it's quite different. So we have on the left-hand side, we have the drawer balancing. On the right-hand side, we have the safe balancing. One feature that has been added with ThriVersA, before, if you were doing balancing and pickups for the previous day, you have to go change the global date. You can still do that here. It's underneath Tools. Underneath Global, you can still change the global date. But if you are doing balancing, you don't have to do that through ThriVersA. You can actually come and change the global date as you go. So I'm going to start with cash drawers because that tends to be what most people usually start with when they're doing the balancing. The first button up here is content, so this allows you to see the content of all the drawers. So you can pick your date. Like I said, you don't have to change back your global date. You can actually change it back here if you're wanting to look at yesterday's data. You can look at just a specific operator or tender, or you can leave it open-ended and just execute it, which will show you all the operators that have open drawers for today. Right here, I have 3 operators that have been running today. So I have my operator 2, 5, 7, their revenue that they've had today, if they've had any loans, any previous pickups, so the amount that they're picked up. Now this is just showing you all the tenders added together, so it's a total. If you are wanting to go into pickups or do a loan from here, you have the options along the bottom, so it's very flexible with what you can do. You can go into give cashier 2 a loan, and then you'll be able to give them a $100 loan. Maybe they're running out of money. You can go right down the list if you need to give different denominations, obviously maybe foreign currency and American currency, something like that. You can give them multiple loans. It'll highlight it in red until it's saved. So once you're done, you can come up and click on the check mark to save it, and now the loan will kick into effect. If you're noticing that it's not really showing as part of the in drawer, down here is the refresh button. So you're just going to want to refresh. As soon as you click that refresh button, you have that 152 now showing in the drawer for cash. If you're needing to go back and forth, the nice thing is that you don't have to close the screen you're working on. It didn't close the previous screen, so you can easily go back to the results. And then you can continue doing whatever it is that you were going to do next. So if you're going to go and do a pickup or declare next, you have that option right here at the bottom. So you can now come in and do a pickup, or you can do a declare. If you're working on a different cashier, we'll just pick a different one. So you can come in and do a pickup. And now you can see I'm not just getting the totals, but I'm getting the different tender types that they have done. If you're used to doing balancing in SMS, you're used to seeing those little arrows where you can just bring over the amounts. They still exist here, so you can just bring the dollar amounts over. If you do need to enter in a different amount, you can do that. You can do a new pickup. You can either click in the box. I went too fast, sorry. So you can click in the box here and just type in a dollar amount. Or if you're wanting to do what you just saw, you can actually enter it in by different denominations. This is available for cash only. So if you're wanting to keep track of your 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s, you can track all the paper amounts. You can track rolls for change and loose change. Also, there's a $2 if you have a lot of $2 denominations, or you can just enter manually the entire amount. So there's a few options here when you're doing that. Again, once you have everything in here, you see it's highlighted in red. That means it just hasn't been finalized. So you just click up here to click on the check mark. It'll go over here on the right. You'll see that everything has updated. And then to refresh your screen, you're just going to click that refresh down there. Some other options that are available now as well. So if you're doing a pickup, I'm just going to refresh the screen so you can see my amounts are updating here. So if you are going to come in and do another pickup, we'll just do another pickup for number 7. There is the option to pick up all. You click pick up all. You don't have to click the arrows. You don't have to manually enter everything in. It will bring it all over for you automatically, and you can just go ahead and save and not have to worry about going and doing anything manually. So it's automated process, sort of, not automatic pickups, but more automated so you can pick up everything in a hurry, especially if you have debit, credit, Visa, and all all of the different denominations for credit cards, and you're just wanting to count cash, you can just easily just pick up everything and go back and manually adjust the cash. I will get to declare in just a moment. I just want to go back because this is one way you can do this when you're going through the contents, but eSuite or ThriVersA, it's always about options. So if you're going back to the very beginning screen, so we went into content, if you're wanting to work on one specifically, you're able to just click loan, you're able to just click pick up, you're able to just pick declare. So you can come in and just do declare. Very similar setup. You can do it by operator, you can do it by tender. You can also click on not declared only or all the cashiers, so you can see all the cashiers. You can leave it open-ended to get all of them, and you can see all the different denominations that haven't been declared. And you can now go through and do all of them at once to declare them. You can click out over the amounts that you would like. This also has the option for the declare all, so you can bring over all of the declare if you're wanting to declare all your cashiers at the end of the night instead of them doing all manually. You can do that. You can just click and it brings them all over. Again, it's all highlighted in red. So you're going to click on save. It's going to go through all of them. I just declared 3 cashiers at once, so it's going to go through. Those will clear off on their own. You don't need to manually clear them off. It's just a little showing you that they were done. So then you're done. You can just go ahead and refresh if you would like, just to make sure that it shows up. And you're done for the night. Another feature that has been added is undeclared. So this way, if you're just wanting to look at any undeclared cashiers, instead of going through all of them, you can just click on undeclared. This is similar to what it was before with the idea where you can look at just active drawers in SMS. This will just show you the undeclared, the active drawers that were never declared. There is flexibility here, so if you're wanting to go back over a few days, just make sure that you're viewing the cashiers that weren't declared so you can go back and fix any within the last day or two. You have that flexibility to look at multiple days now with the undeclared. So you can leave it open-ended again. You can just do this by a certain operator. So you can come in here, click on your search tool, pick one specific operator if you're looking for that, or if you're only worried about declaring a certain tender, usually cash, you can just come in here, you can just search for your specific tender and look for that as well. These search tools are really nice. They are going to look in both the function number and in the description, so you can just type in cash. You don't have to say description. And click on that, click OK, and then you can go ahead and execute. And it will just show you the ones that weren't declared. I had 2 cashiers yesterday that I did not declare, so it's going to show me that list right here. So that way I can now say, oh, I have to go back and declare those cashiers that were never declared. I can actually see that the pickups weren't fully done, and you can then go back and correct those. You can highlight them or check mark them, and you can click on content, and you can go to the content screen, and then you can do the pickups and declares right here. So you don't have to switch back and forth. It's already going to change that global date back. Like I said, the global date doesn't necessarily have to be rolled back. It's going to backdate it for you when you pick the date, and you can then do the pickups and the declares right from the screen. Another part that was added in is your history. So you don't have to go run a report. You can easily pull up the history of what's been done. You click on history. And again, you have that nice flexibility with the dates. You can go back. I'm just going to go back and look at yesterday and today. You can pick your target. If you're looking for a certain type, pickup and loan, you can choose that, or all. Certain operator, certain tender. You can sort this however it is that you would like, and then you can execute. And it's just going to give you a little history, and I have it broken down. It's broken down by operator. So you can go ahead and see what they've done previously over the last couple days, or the date range that you specified. So you can see the pickup, the loan, what they were short and over in each of the different tender types as well, to give you that nice synopsis. Moving over to the safe side, this is very similar. They moved over, they have everything under the safe. They have the content, receive, deposit, declare. So it's the same idea as the drawer. So you have the content, you can loan, or you can receive into the safe. You can pick up, you can deposit, you can declare. A little bit different. There's no undeclared safe. There's inventory and but there's also the historical. So if you go into the content, I have my safe set to open. If you were set to close it by day, you would be able to pick the day here. You can pick just a certain tender. This is a nice feature, so that way if you really are mostly just worried about tracking your cash, you don't have to worry about seeing the rest of the tenders. You could just come in here and just look at your cash. Again, it's going to show up in here because I did that previously, and then you can execute. So if you're used to looking at this in SMS, you always have all of the different tender types. Sorry about that. You have all of the different tender types listed in here, and you can still have that. You can leave it open-ended, but this gives it so you can just look at one specific tender if that's all you're really worried about tracking. And you can go through and you can see, okay, so here's what was loan, pickup, what I've received, deposited, everything already done. And then you can also do everything down here. You can receive in money, so if you're receiving in a loan from the bank and you need to add that to the safe. If you're depositing money, you need to take money out of the safe to deposit at the bank. That's right down here. And declaring the safe is right here as well. You have that flexibility to do it down here. Again, just like with the operators, you also have it right here. So you have receiving, you have deposits, you have declare. So just so you can see, I can do a receiving. I'm going to do tender. That's what I was just working on. So it's going to auto-populate that. If you're bringing in a different tender type, you can change that, but default's going to be cash. Execute, and then I just need to type in how much I'm receiving. Again, you can double click if you're wanting to keep track by the different denominations, 100s, 50s, 20s, or you can just type in an overall dollar amount. So if you're receiving $500 in, you can do that. It'll come over here, show in red. So again, you just have to click on that save. It'll show up over here, refresh, and you'll see that as now my new safe balance has gone up because I brought money into the safe. You can always go back again to do a deposit that way, or you can do it through the content, and then there is the declare option if you are declaring the safe. Little bit different with the history. The history, well, not a little bit different. It's going to show you the same data, but it's just going to show it in a slightly different way because it is only ever going to be one safe. So if you do a historical view of it, I did yesterday and today because I have a little bit of data from yesterday. So this way you'll be able to go through, track all the pickups that have added money to the safe or added debit, credit if you're tracking that into the safe. And you can see anything that was taken out of the safe, if you did any deposits that were taken out of the safe, and anything that was received. So you can really track to see where the money's coming from and where it's leaving now. There is a few additional reports I just wanted to highlight, since if you're going to be doing balancing in ThriVersA, you may want to be running the reports through here. So going into operators, there's your operator total report. This is the same exact report that's available in SMS Pro. So clicking on here, you can do your date, you can pick your specific operator number. I'll just pick operator 5 since I know I did that today. And you can execute. I didn't pick a target, so it's just going to make sure I wanted rail. Yep. And this is the same exact report. So you can see the revenue, any loans, any pickups, anything like that. Same exact report. So you can see it's a static report. It's a PDF, so that way you can print it out so you can keep track of how the operators are doing. Some additional reports that I know kind of tie hand in hand with balancing is you can do the exceptions, discounts, and statistics reports. These are the reports that way you can track to see anything that's the cashier may be doing extra, any exceptions that they've done throughout the day, any discounts that they may be given throughout the day, just so you can see how these work. I'm just going to click on the exceptions. So this is a common report that we get, people wanting to run and people wanting to customize. So this really allows you to do that. So this is going to show you all the exceptions. So these numbers probably don't mean too much. These are totalizer numbers. So if you click on here, you can actually add and subtract the totalizers that you may want to look for. So maybe you don't know, looking over here, so you see 1211. What is that? That is your bottle returns. Maybe that's not something you're interested in having to track. You don't want to see how many bottle returns. You can uncheck that. And then maybe 3002, so cancel previous items. So this is going to show you all of those kind of negative, or we'll say questionable behaviors that cashiers may be doing that you may want to start tracking. And you can add and subtract different totalizers than what's in here by default, so you can really customize this report to how you would like to, what data you would like to look at. I'll just leave it default for right now. I'll execute. I'm not going to have a lot, but you can see now I have the words up here. So bottle return, cancel last item, cancel previous item, cancel order corrections, previous orders, refund key information, no sales customers. This is an exceptional things that may have happened at the register. So this way you can come and look at this report if you're questioning maybe why a cashier is showing short or over. You can come in here, maybe you can see that there was a lot of refunds done that day, some cancel orders, and they're showing short or over, so you can dig into the details a little bit, and you can customize this. If there's something on here that you're not seeing, you can easily add it. Again, just so you can see when you're doing the search tool, this is dynamic, so I am looking for the totalizer numbers so you can see what they are, but maybe you're looking for something for, like, well, I have all the cancels, but you have cancel last item, cancel previous. You can type in the word cancel to add those totalizers into that. There is a limit of 10, so you just have to make sure you stay under the limit. So if there's something on here you don't want to track, you can remove it and add what you would like to. The other one is like discounts that the cashier may be given. You can come in here and track any discounts. This is not quite as flexible, but it does show you all the discounts that could have potentially been given, coupons, global discounts, anything like that. So I'll execute it so you can see them all. Electronic store, electronic item discounts, customer discount, store coupons, anything like that. So that way you can track what discounts are being given. And going back to the last one, which is just statistics, this is just a common one that we get requested a lot. So it's nice that that's just been added as its own separate one. So you can come in, again, date range, operator, you can sort it by that. But this is just going to give you like the statistics, the sales per hour, items scanned per hour versus items keyed per hour. You can see on my lab, I keyed in a lot of items. So I get that. And then the percentage of items versus keyed, customers, frequent customers, customers and customers percentage that were in the transaction, time by percentage. So it's just some statistical information. It really is, they had this information before, but it was into other reports. So this way it's one report unto its own. Before I forget, all of this that I've gone over has the same flexibility with ThriVersA that we've seen with the reporting. You can easily remove any columns that you would like to. So if there's a column in here that you're not worried about the customers, maybe you don't have a frequent shopper program, you can come in here and you can easily remove those customers so they're not in here, and you can click and drag. So if you're wanting to click and drag any of these, you can move them, so really customize this report how you would like to see it. You can also save that. Up here, the gear icon will allow you to save any layouts. So you can save that layout. If you've removed everything, you don't want to see it the next time you come in because, again, you don't have a frequent shopper program, something like that. You can save that layout so the next time you come in, you don't have to see that. You can save it as your default layout. And then I've gone over that in previous videos, but if you can reference those about how to save that. But going back, that is just something I just wanted to point out. This is all still there. Even the balancing that we went over before, all of that flexibility is still there. If there's you wanting to move or customize those screens a little bit, you can do that. The other part is with this, you have still have the operator single total, multi-totals right here that you used to be able to run just in SMS and SMS Pro. That's now available in ThriVersA that also has all that flexibility built in. So just so you can see, we'll just do the operator single totals. You can run this on a date range, select operators, all of that. You can change if you're wanting to do a different totalizer or target more necessary at a host. But just giving you that one single total on the net sales. That way you can look at exactly how the cashiers are doing day by day if you're wanting to do this. Move all of these columns around, and then going back, you have the multi-totals. Again, these reports are available. They just ported them over from SMS Pro. an SMS to ThriVersA, but the flexibility is there. And when you're running them, that you could still move the columns. They also have added a compare total. If you're wanting to compare an operator, how they're doing day by day, you can come in here. You can select, I would suggest selecting a specific operator when you're running this, just to make it a little bit easier, or just maybe one or two operators. But you can come in and you can select a certain operator. We'll just do my manager. Compare date, regular date, what you want to compare. If you're wanting to compare the net sales, if you want to do a different totalizer like cash, something like that. And then you can execute that, and you can kind of see how this cashier is doing day by day with their sales. Really kind of drill into some analytics and get into more information about how the cashiers, the cashiers just, maybe they had a good day one day and a less busy day another day. You can look at maybe the cash register that they were on, what day it was, obviously. Like if you're looking at a Sunday versus a Monday, Mondays tend to be slower than Sundays. You can change the date. I did one day versus the other, but you can obviously change the date to compare 2 Saturdays. Just trying to get into some analytics and see where your customers are flowing and how the cashiers are doing. So that was what I wanted to go over. Let me check to see if there's any questions that came in. I apologize. I don't usually run the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Oh, okay.
Yes, hi Jennifer, I'm actually here. I made it. Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, and I really do apologize for all the technical issues. We're trying a new system with Zoom, and we have to keep trying to make sure it's perfect, so hopefully the next one will be absolutely amazing with us. So thank you again, Jennifer. Thank you so much. We even got the recording, so I'll be sharing that with everybody. So questions, I did believe there is one that came through in the chat. So does ThriVersA have electronic journal?
Yes. Right here, actually, the next section down under auditing, you have the journal. So you have the same electronic journals. You have all journals and transaction details to be able to run the journals here. Same idea where if you, again, I not to keep comparing, but like what you're used to with SMS and SMS Pro, this is just the open-ended one, and then you could add your criteria. So if you're looking for a certain transaction number, customer ID, user ID, or at a host for a certain store, you can run that. You could run it open-ended, so you can look at all the transactions done for today. And then if you're wanting to get more details, you can come down here. Again, if you're used to it, like you remember detail and total, so you can get all the details and get the details of all the items that were run, or in my case, I did a lot of loans and pickups, and you can get that information here. Fantastic. Or you can get the
oh, keep going.
You're fine. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, or you can get the total amount. That's all.
Fantastic. Well, thank you ever so much for sharing that with us. Is there anyone else that has any questions that they would like to share or ask even? Sorry, the forum is open. Like I mentioned, we do have a recording for this, so I'll make sure that you all get a copy, especially with the technical difficulties. Jennifer, was there any last thoughts or anything you'd like to add?
No, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. However, with the beginning, with the technical difficulties we had, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody. And we'll ensure that it is smooth sailing for the next one. Thank you, everyone, and we hope you have a lovely afternoon.